Yes, we are live. Welcome to this episode. Today, we are going to talk about shifting the hustle mentality. I'll uncover how it's working against you, what the benefits are, and the biggest misconceptions. And this is the second episode of Manifest Your Business Empire, and I'm so excited to have you here with me. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I had a podcast before, Limitless Living podcast, and it's so interesting and fascinating the energy flow that comes from starting a new project and letting go of, you know, something that's just a closed chapter. Sometimes things are just chapters, and I just feel the frequency and the potency in this podcast that I'm so excited to have you here with me. So, for this episode, this episode is for you when you feel it's hard to disconnect from work. Like when you feel you're always on call, like you are incredibly committed and devoted so much that you're working 10-hour plus days. Maybe it's 12, maybe it's 14, maybe it's more. You have no problem to say no to social activities. Building your business comes first. That's how devoted you are. But in all honesty, if you look within, you are tired and honestly frustrated because you feel you should have been way further by now. If you look at the amount of time, energy, and maybe even money you invested into your business. And even though you feel that you need to work hard in order to be successful, and even though you feel that you have to go all in, you're also done with being a workaholic. Because the only energy you have left after work is eating crappy food, watching crappy TV, and you are ready for more in all areas of life. And if this is you, and you said yes to one or more, I call this a hustlepreneur. And a hustlepreneur's life will always be hard. And being hard has nothing to do with your mission, with your vision, with your dream. It doesn't have to be hard. And if this is you, and you're like, whoa, yes, I resonate with that hustlepreneur. Might not, that was me. And there's really no shame in admitting this. To the contrary, the only way to ensure change is in owning the parts of you that feel heavy and to explore, with an open mind, what of the things that I'm doing are actually no longer aligned with where you desire to go. You may have been hearing a voice somewhere inside of you for a while that has been saying, like, there must be a bigger, better life for you out there. The feeling that this hustle, this workaholic mindset, this can't be it. It shouldn't feel this hard. Like, even when things and these feelings doesn't make any sense, because we as a society, we glorify hard work. And in this moment in time where you are now, honor that you are doing what you think is best. But that intuitive feeling, that voice, that is there too. And I'll tell you from personal experience, if you don't listen to the silent whispers of your soul, the whispers get louder until the walls come crashing down. Here are some wise words from my friend Albert Einstein. And he said, you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. And I want to share you a couple of stories on this a little bit further. But to me, what this means, you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it, is that you're doing the best you can with what you know right now. Like imagine a third grader going into fifth grade. He knows all he can for his level. Like maybe he's outperforming everyone in his class with his mates that are the same age. But as soon as he steps it up from third grade to fifth grade, he suddenly is clueless. And that's sort of how you need to envision the entrepreneurship in every level. You don't know what you don't know. So, of course, you're doing and working and operating with all your best intentions, operating on the skill level that you have. So, in order to have different, you need to be different. Because when you be different, you act different. So it's not about what you know. It's not even about what you do. The starting point to every manifestation practice should always be, where do I desire to go? Have that clear, because if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know what you want, and sometimes that can be as simple as, I want to feel inner peace. I want to feel more calm. I want to feel more joy. Like it doesn't always need to be a detailed vision of your business, of your relationship, or whatever it is in your life. Sometimes a feeling is enough, but other times it can be a rough picture. I want to spend more quality time with my family. I want to be a better mom to my kids. I want to be a better partner. I want to have less arguments and be more in harmony. At the end of this episode, I'm going to give you a couple of exercises to journal on, because having clarity, a vision of what you want, particular, different areas of life obviously have different wants. Today we talk about business. But when you know what you want and where you're heading, then you can ask yourself the next question, and that is, am I moving in that direction? And if not, why not? Because a lot of us, and this used to be me too, but I see this also in my clients, is that we run our businesses, or actually our businesses are running us. With all our best intentions, we are not the leader. We are not the driver. Our business, our life is happening to us. It's almost like this rare coincidence. Not knowing where clients coming from, not knowing how it works, not knowing the fundamentals, that your business gets to be predictable. And you have this deep inner trust and confidence that you'll be all right. When you set yourself a goal that you know you will hit it. Are you setting goals? Or do you feel, what's the point? So if you answer no to the question, am I moving in that direction? If your answer is, I don't actually know what it is I want, I don't have goals, then you have to re-evaluate the things that you are now doing. Because if you keep doing what you did, you keep getting what you got. So there may be a different way outside of your scope of possibilities, out of your current awareness, that you have to step into to get what you want. Because if you're done with the life of working 12-hour days, maybe more, to not see the results, then you know that hard work is not equaling success. Because as long as you're not moving forward, like imagine daydreaming. I live in Amsterdam. Imagine thinking, I want to go to New York. That's a great, dream. But what makes a dream reality is a plan. What I need to do is actually buy the plane ticket, get on the plane, and get out in New York. Your business is the same. When you just have goals, when you just have a vision without structure, without a plan, without a strategy, it will always continue to be a dream. What it asks of you is taking radical responsibility for where you're at and to feeling into, am I living my best life? Because your life is today. Your life is not when you make more money that then suddenly your life is starting. Your life is today. And this day, this moment, this is all you have. So I want to talk you through like the biggest misconceptions or mistakes that you may currently make. And I'm going to start with number one, and this is going to be controversial, but the quote many live by: to be successful, you must be willing to do the things others won't do in order to have the things others won't have. Maybe that's a quote that's very familiar to you. But I'm going to explain how this is wildly misinterpreted. I find this a very difficult word. Misinterpreted. Because many interpreted this as that it means you have to put in 14-hour days. You know, you have to be willing to do the things that others won't, to do and get things that others won't have. Do have. People think, well, you know, an average employee is not willing to work 14 hours a day. That's what I need to do. I need to hustle. I need to work hard. But what it actually is, to feel the fear and do it anyway. Could be hiring a team. Could be launching. Could be starting a podcast. Could be starting a YouTube channel. Whatever it is, letting yourself be seen. Whew, that can be scary and vulnerable. And it may make you want to puke. I had this huge fear of being seen, which you wouldn't say if you look at me now. But I did the work. You know, it requires you in your business to let go of your need of control, to let go, to outsource, not to need do it all by yourself, to put it all in your plate. What it takes is feeling uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, knowing that every time you step out of your comfort zone, it will feel icky. You need to be able to learn all these new skills: communication, sales, marketing, strategy, social media, like whatever platform you're using, mastering the skills that are needed for you to stand out. More importantly, staring down your demons, healing your shadows. This is 80% of your success. Imposter syndrome. You know, maybe old traumas that say that you are not enough, that you feel you're unworthy, that you hold back because you feel fear failure. Like, what if I don't have it in me to succeed? You know, yes, I have this big vision, but what if it won't work out? What it also takes is constantly evolving, constantly up-leveling, and that is what 99% of people are not willing to do. All these things, because they play safe, and with that they stay right in their zone of comfort, not taking ownership for how they show up, not sitting themselves down like, hey, you know, what is coming up for me? Why do I feel this fear? Let me heal it. Let me shift it. Not being aware of the stories, the narrative in their mind telling them that they don't have what it takes. Questioning their beliefs on every level, realizing there's a new devil around the corner and you have to slay that motherfucker. That is what 99% of the people don't do. And this will probably trigger a whole lot of you. But working more than 10-hour days consistently, not a season, not 2 weeks, no, a lifetime, a year, that's the equivalent of someone who games all day. It's doing the easy thing because it has become your zone of comfort. It's not hard to work 13, 14 hours a day. What is hard is not working as much. What is hard is letting go. What is hard is taking a break. What is hard is resting. What is easy is constantly being on the go, achieving, milestone, not even being able to celebrate because you're in such a hurry. So, what I teach is always taking the path of most resistance because that will lead you to magic. And I know the law of attraction teaches to follow the path of least resistance. But the misconception is here that of the path of least resistance is from an energy point of view. So least resistance is excitement, where you feel expansive. So let's say you feel called to start your own YouTube channel and it feels excited, but at the same time you have this fear. I don't have what it takes. What if no one will listen? What will so and so think of me? What if I fail? What if no one watches? Like all those stories. So the path of most resistance is following the excitement and then slaying those demons. That's when you have magic because you're getting outside your comfort zone and that means you're growing. You are freaking growing. Then number 2, and I wish someone would have told me this sooner. The belief that the only way to make more money is to work harder. And what I have come to realize is that when I was leading a multi 7-figure business, I did this as an employer. Like literally, I was an employer, I was hired. But what I realized, and this was true James Wedmore's teachings, like an employer has different rules to live by. Because as an employer, the only way to climb the ladder is literally to make more money. You have to work harder. You have to put in the hours to get paid. It's as simple as that. You work hard, get a promotion. You work harder, get more paid. And most of us, including myself, take this mindset and run our businesses like an employer instead of a CEO. We think small because an employer has a small box they operate in. And keep in mind that as a society, we are all trained to be an amazing employer, but a horrible entrepreneur. I like to call this the good girl syndrome. I don't know how it was at your school, but here, we got a sticker for job well done. Like I still see myself as a 12-year-old girl trying to write within the lines, when you just started to writing or you needed to do a math exercise and you need to calculate it all at once or get the right outcome. And here you got a sticker. Good work, good girl. That's a horrible world to live in when you have ADHD. And at school, but also at our homes, like as a society, we're not taught to think outside the box. Actually, having a different opinion is seen as rude. And I took that with me my entire career. Maybe you recognize this, where you freaking thrived for that tap on the back. I built my whole identity when I was younger for that kind of external validation. The good thing there was it made me be the best at anything. But the bad thing is that I didn't do it for myself, but I did it to feel seen. And it was my way to be worth something. Look at me. And so you obey by the rules. Entrepreneurship is all about breaking the rules, being innovative, experimenting, adapting that mindset of an adventure, how I like to call it. going against the status quo, going against what society is teaching us to be. But that kind of energy, looking to validate ourselves, looking for proof, I need to prove that I'm worthy. And so I work hard. I need to prove that I deserve it, because true working hard, that's my commitment. I deserve it, you see. I'm working every day and all day. I'm not taking any rest. I'm not taking any breaks. So how many of us are operating from this energy? Are you operating from this energy? Because that's very a dense, heavy energy, a lot of pressure with a lot of fear. Because you are worthy no matter what. You deserve it no matter what. Do you really think that when you can run a multi-million business on 20 hours a week, that it would be worth less, that you deserve it less? Well, the fear is that you won't be able to get there if you work less, if you rest. But that's the thing, it's fear. And I see this with so many of my clients just before their holiday. They have to work twice as hard. They start their holiday feeling exhausted. And it turned out not at all to be the recharge it was supposed to be, and the recharge they actually really needed. And on holiday, still feeling like they have to work. And I did this myself. When I had my first business, I went to Bali. If you've been to Bali, paradise. I could not allow myself to enjoy one single minute because I had work to do. I was so committed. I wanted to have success so bad that I was thinking, the harder I work, the faster I get there. So there I was at the other side of the world, being surrounded with so much beauty and not being able to enjoy 1 second of it. And you know what I gained? Absolutely nothing. You know what I lost? My business, my health, my sanity, my friends, the people that I love. There was nothing left of me. I was isolated. And is that life? And when you are doing that to yourself, because obviously I was doing that to myself, what does it really say about your self-worth? So working hard, is that really proof that you are worthy? Or is that actually proving that you're not worthy? That you not feel worthy to live an easy, blissful life? Because you don't feel worth of enjoying and savoring the moment that is here. And that's the hard truth. And that's a tough pill to swallow. I even get a little emotional saying this, but I've been there. So I know how it feels. And that again takes radical responsibility to really put your hand on your heart and to ask, what do I need? What do I need in this moment? Like, what do I want? Sure, success. Sure, money. But is this really the way? And I always say to my clients, you don't have to believe all of a sudden that it can be easy and you can be all, bubbly and confident and just to create space. But the minimum thing that I ask you to do is to open the door of possibility, not have it wide open, just a little bit, a little gap of opportunity. And then I say, look for proof. You don't have to take my word for it, but look for proof. I always guide my clients to look for proof, guiding them to where it's easy, where it comes easy. Look for proof. Look around you. Start what you want and then look around. Are there people that living that lifestyle and how did it get there? And then be mindful to not only focus on the people that hustle, but start looking for a different way of doing life, for a different energy. Because that feeling of always needing to work, holiday, weekends, whatever, that's that hustlepreneur. And that's why in my program, I help women step into the powerhouse CEO seat. So we move from hustlepreneur to powerhouse CEO. That's that queen energy. And queen energy is really feeling empowered, where you value yourself. You put yourself in your throne on a pedestal. That's where you belong. In order for other people to see you, you have to see yourself. For other people to value you, you have to value yourself. You have to create and give yourself what you want and need. And it starts with being vocal about it. And that queen energy, that powerhouse CEO, it's where she blends her masculine energy. That side that takes action, is result driven, organized, runs her business from a CEO dashboard, tracking numbers, knowing her numbers, because you can't grow what you can't measure. She's being intentional with her time, like laser focused. And she combines that with her feminine energy. And if you're anything like me at the moment, that's non existent, because you're racing through your day. Always feeling there's never enough time. Always feeling like this nagging feeling of I didn't do enough. But feminine energy is flow, space, intuition, inspiration, creation. We as women, we need space in order to hear our intuition. We cannot hear it when we are overthinking and all our energy is constantly inside our heads. And you're missing a super power here. Your intuition is your biggest superpower. And that is how you manifest. Not through overthinking and the logical, realistic approach. It's thinking outside of the box and really tapping into your own source. What feels expansive? What feels exciting? That's how you can start running your business, that it's going to feel like joy when you do things that feel like joy. When you create a business that's simple instead of complex. Simplicity. Huh. Doesn't that sound like so freeing? And this is what no other coach is talking about. But the way I teach manifestation, there is no manifesting your goals as long as you don't heal the hustle. Because it's a frequency game, which means that it's all about your energy. And as long as you need control, as long as your business feels like one big emotional roller coaster where you go from stress to chaos to overwhelm to excitement to anxiety, your most dominant emotions are low. Your frequency is low. And why does this matter? Well, when you feel low, you doubt. When you feel low, you procrastinate, you fear. There's literally less power. When you're excited, there's no doubt. You take action. You feel on top of the world. You feel like a powerhouse. Which brings me to my next point, number 3. Resting is lazy. It shows you are less committed or devoted and you have to go all in. And ask yourself this. When you're putting your client and customers first, how much is the thinking serving them? So imagine, you can choose a neurosurgeon. He's about to operate one of your close family members. Who would you pick? The surgeon who worked double shifts for 2 weeks straight running on caffeine? Or the doctor who is well rested and just spent a deeply fulfilling weekend with his family? pick the one. And ask yourself, of these two, who is likely to make more mistakes? Your business should not be about you. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. And when you shift your focus to really wanting to serve, like this neurosurgeon, you will thrive to show up as your best because you serve best. Intentional, energized, inspired, motivated to go all in from a point of energy because you serve and you ask yourself, how can I solve my clients' problems best? And when you come from that energy, you create a totally different business. Because let's be honest, who wants to be operated by a surgeon who worked double shifts for 2 weeks straight, is exhausted, running on caffeine? Not me. So how are you serving your clients that way? Because there's no option to kill them? No, but it's blocking your business. It's blocking your business growth. You want to manifest big money? You want to manifest making a 6-figure year? This is the starting point because you learn all the strategies, have the greatest plan, and I've had plenty of clients and still not make it work. And this is why you're overworked. And because you're overworked, you feel exhausted. And when you're exhausted, it's not your best work. You push, you force, you're ticking off endless to-do lists because you need to, not because you want to. Create space. And here's number 4. And I wish someone had told me this before I got myself on the edge of burnout. You only fail when you stop. And you're only one step away from success, so don't give up. Like, letting go is bad. And there is 2 layers on this, because if you feel deeply inspired and connected to your purpose, you're literally walking your purpose. Of course, you're not going to give up. One of my favorite quotes from Einstein again is Einstein's definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's when you have to let go and be creative, get that adventurer mindset and like, okay, this is not working. What can I do to improve and refine to make it work? Because letting go is the most powerful thing you can do. Imagine flogging a dead horse. There's no point, right? And I felt like I was pulling a dead horse in my business for 3 years. And I was like, no, letting go is failure. I believe. And I pushed through. But in pushing through, I pushed myself on the edge of burning out. My business was long gone. But I refused to give up. It costed me a lot. Time, energy, money, like I said before, my sanity. To prove what? The energy in my business was low. My mindset was scarce. At one point I didn't have, I was living off, I think the lowest point was 180 euros that I was left after expenses. That was for food an entire month. Obviously, no money for fun. Every business decision I doubted. At the moment, I thought that I was doing well, but now on hindsight, I had no clue what I was doing. I was learning all these things like SEO and product listings, like I had a jewelry brand. And if I look at my energy, it were all things that felt draining. I'm a people person. This is my jam. I can record podcasts all day, every day, and not feel tired. I can spend 8 hours straight teaching you about the world of energy, law of attraction, manifesting, neuroscience, mindset, whatever you want to hear from me. That's my zone of genius. It lifts me up, it expands me. When I spend time with my clients, it expands me. The things that me personally drain is what I was doing in that business. Building a web shop, product listings, SEO, the Instagram that I was doing back then. So this is something that you may ask yourself. What is out of alignment? What feels not expansive? What feels contracting? Like, how many marriages are kept alive just for the sakes of it? Because letting go feels as a failure, while in fact, holding on is a sign of low self-worth. Because they believe there's this fear, I have to start over. What will people think of me? But you should feel worthy of more. People that are together 20 years doesn't automatically make a great, happy marriage and therefore a happy life. It starts with feeling you deserve more and having clarity about what is it I deserve? What is it I want? You and no one can do this for you. The work is getting yourself to a stage where you feel worthy of a life that feels easy. You know, that it becomes a possibility. Opening up the door, little bit a gap. Worthy of a partnership that builds you up. Worthy of earning more than enough money. Not just enough, no, more than enough. And here's the thing. When subconsciously we believe things need to be hard, quote unquote, in order for us to be worthy of it, we will always recreate hardship. I know this to be true because I freaking lived it. I kept saying to myself, why make it easy when you can make it hard? You know, it ain't worth anything unless it's hard, you know, and this is what we see around us on these quotes as well. And maybe you recognize that without even realizing it. This is how you live your life and run your business. So here are 3 things you can start doing today. Inside my container, I take women through my accelerator framework. And it's around the concept of be, do, have. Realizing that, and this is what I explained at the start of this episode, the version of you that you are today got you to where you are now. With this kind of thinking, and your thinking is setting in motion your current actions, this level that you're currently operating on. And these actions lead to certain results you're not happy with, otherwise you wouldn't be here, which creates your reality, and your reality is reaffirming your beliefs. So when you deep down feel, I am a failure, your subconscious brain will always focus on proof. You see, I always fail. It's never enough. I am not enough. That's what you're saying to yourself. And this will lead to perfectionism, the need to overachieve, to overdeliver. So we need to shift who you be first so you can start to do different, which will impact the things you have. And the results are incredible and long lasting. I worked with an incredible woman who came to me severe anxiety for a decade. And now she is anxiety free, living her freaking best life. Moved to an amazing island in Spain, feeling free. Another client who used to be hustle, like always needing to work, like everything that I said on the hustlepreneur, and now starting to feel like, hey, I'm making money with ease. I suddenly have all these opportunities. Open minds. Working less while making more money. No longer feeling the pressure, being able to relax and disconnect because you cultivated that deep inner trust. So the first steps Be clear about what it is you want. Sit yourself down. How do you desire to feel? And what are things you can start doing differently that will get you to feel that way? And it can be as simple as wake up half an hour earlier, create a morning routine, start exercising, go for a walk in between your workday, having clear boundaries and a plan. Like all the things that you're doing, are they actually moving the needle? Are they getting you closer or further away from your goal? But then start with, what is your goal? And another way is this. If you have a big money goal, you actually have it. And when you fantasize about having it, you manifested it, that is in your account, how does this make you feel? Because here's a little secret. Your goal is not actually the money. Your goal is how it will make you feel. And how it will make you feel, maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's excitement. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's the feeling of, relief. I arrived. But the thing with the law of attraction is like attracts like energy. So the work is to get to this feeling first, not after. That will never work. Know these millionaires who buy 10, 20, 30 cars, endless shoes, because there's always a hole in their hearts. So make choices very focused in line with your goal. And I want to add another exercise. Because as Robin Sharma always says, your daily behavior always reflects your deepest beliefs. This is such a powerful one when you notice, nail this, and to look at yourself just with playful curiosity, observing, being very curious, like I said, like, hey, where is this stemming from? What is this telling me about me? So make a list and write down your daily behavior. Maybe you want to track this over a week or a couple of days and just write down your habits. So without judging yourself. For example, I work 12 hours a day. I'm a perfectionist. I never take time for myself. I don't exercise. I hit the ground running in the morning. I don't eat breakfast because I don't have time, or maybe you skip meals. I always feel overwhelmed by a never ending to do list. I'm an overthinker. I worry a lot. Maybe this is all you. Maybe there's different things in your behavior. Either way, track it, write it down. Driven by getting to know yourself better, driven by wanting to be your best self, making the most impact. And when you did this, I want you to sit down and go through each behavior and ask yourself, is this fueled by fear or by faith? I believe behind everything we do, behind every habit, are only two energies: fear or faith, fear or love, fear or power. So put down a plus or a minus. And if you got this down, take it one level further. All the traits that you feel are fear driven, what is this behavior saying about you? In other words, what belief is this reflecting? So if you are a perfectionist, you can say it's fueled by fear, the fear of it not being good enough. And in a way, you fear, I am not good enough. So when you deep down are not feeling capable, if you feel like an imposter, of course you will become a perfectionist who wants to over deliver. It's not done from strength. And perfectionism slows you down massively. Because before you feel it's ready, before you are ready to show it to the world, another business has already hit their home run. So it's way more effective to run your business in a lean way, get a beta version out, get feedback, and optimize based on your clients' wants and needs to optimize results. Instead of keeping it all to yourself, spending months and months on product development to by the time you launch it, there is no demand and you hear crickets. I know this all too well because this has been me. So go through your behavior and ask yourself, is it coming from fear or faith? Because when a lot of your behavior is driven by fear, it slows you down, it's contracting, it's blocking your business. You want to move and you want to move fast. You want to get fast results. But you can only get fast results if you're able to slow down. And sometimes that takes you to go one step back and do the inner work first, because it's the inner work that makes the dream work. If you want to do this, I created a worksheet, like an ebook, that I'm actually currently writing, and maybe by the time you listen to this it's done, but I have a link that you can get this sent straight to your inbox, so you don't have to pause and write all these questions down, but you actually can get the work done, because this is everything. So I hope through today's episode you've come to realize what is behind your need to work 24/7, and that it's much more complex than you realized. This is why you feel guilty when you take time off work. Even though you may try to integrate new learnings, it just doesn't feel good. And know that your mind has one job: to keep you safe and sane. And safe is always found in what is familiar. New territory, your version of success, is the unknown. So your default will always steer you away from that reality. Not from a place of self-sabotage, but from a place of protection. That's such a huge mindset shift when you look at yourself knowing that I'm just trying to protect myself. Self-sabotage, I know this is what I used to refer to, but it sounds so judgy. Protection, that's what it is. But there's a simple way to change your behavior on the root level that is lasting, that you will thrive. And that's where you change your beliefs. Be, do, have. And this is where I can help you. If this episode felt useful, share it with whom you feel it may resonate with. I'd love to hear your key takeaways. So wherever you are, tag me whenever you choose to share, or meet me in my DMs. Thank you so much for being here with me, and make today a great day.